How much would you pay for a treatment that boosts your brain power, or helps you to have better cognitive skills, or even improve your memory and ability to focus better? You might think a treatment that does just one of these things would be expensive and in a facility. But for millions of people who participate daily in this activity that accomplishes all of this and more just in the comfort of their own home without a high price tag, and most of these participants are not aware they're benefiting from the effects of this treatment. The source of this treatment may come as a surprise, but it is actually playing video games. Most people would be surprised to know that playing video games, either on a console or computer, have been found by researchers to improve mental skills and cognitive functions and can help to build brain plasticity in elderly. We all have someone in our lives that probably plays some kind of video game, as well as someone who's getting older and having a hard time with memory or cognitive skills. For me, I have 4 kids and a husband who love to play video games. I've always been concerned that they might be harmful for their mental health, so I did some research and was surprised to find that there's a positive side to video games. How many times have we heard that if we play too many video games, our brain will turn to mush? But in fact, video games can help to make our brain stronger. In a 2008 Discovery Magazine article entitled Mental Fitness, it says, electronic games that require complex strategies and creative problem solving may exercise still more parts of the brain, building planning, memory, and reasoning skills. Jane McGonigal is a game designer, an author, and an advocate about how video games can be good for the brain. McGonigal spoke at the 2015 Nantucket Project regarding this subject. In her speech, she said that video games offer a real sense of optimism in our abilities and our opportunity to better and succeed, and more physical and mental energy to engage with difficult problems, and that is actually the physiology and psychological state of the gameplay. McGonigal said that the brain scans of people who play video games show that the active part of the brain while playing is the reward pathway system connected with motivation and goal orientation. Also, the hippocampus is activated, which is associated with learning and memory. In addition, McGonigal is not the only one to say that video games can have a positive effect. Daphne Bavier, a professor in the Department of Psychological and Educational Sciences at the University of Geneva in Switzerland, and part of the Department of Brain and Cognitive Science at the University of Rochester, conducted an experiment with C. Sean Green, assistant professor in the Department of Psychology at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Their research shows how video games can heighten cognitive skills and functions. Cognitive skills are the basic functions that a brain uses to think, read, learn, remember, reason, and pay attention. The brain will then use these skills to store incoming information and knowledge and use it at a later date. Bavier and Green's study showed players who immersed themselves in the fast-paced event of digital fantasy worlds derived significant cognitive benefits. Games are not only a fun way to pass the time, they've been used in many training exercises by doctors, surgeons, and even the United States military. A California surgeon, Dr. Calvin Lee, said that there are basic cognitive and visual motor skills learned from playing video games which can be applied to surgical maneuvers and surgical situations. The list of cognitive skills that Bavier said that grow stronger are an improved ability to focus on visual detail, heightened sensibility to visual contrast, can mentally rotate objects more accurately, multitasking, required to switch back and forth between reading and holding a conversation, and react to events that unfold quickly, and the ability to make correct decisions under pressure. Another way we can change our perception on video games is to look at the positive benefits they are doing for the elderly. James Gee is a cognitive scientist at the Arizona State University. He has been studying the effects of video games to improve memory in elderly people. Guy says any information associated with pleasure and excitement triggers dopamine release. Information can be stored more deeply and better remembered later. For years, scientists thought that as we grew older, our mental plasticity became stagnant, but researchers shown in the Discovery Magazine article suggest that the mature brain is far from being a static organ. Throughout life, stimulating activity sparks the growth of new nerve connections and may even prompt a key memory center of the brain producing neurons. Cognitive scientists say that nearly half the information we take in is through our eyes, and as we grow old, the ability to concentrate or pay attention to things on the periphery deteriorates. Any activity that keeps these visual circuits in better working order improve overall cognitive functions. One of the things that many elderlies are doing to improve these functions is playing specifically designed video games to help build memory and cognitive strength in their brain. As people play video games, their visual spatial acuity improves, especially their peripheral vision, and the reaction times are better and much faster, says Gary Small, director of the Center on Aging at UCLA. In final consideration, I hope you rethink all the times you thought you were wasting precious brain cells while playing video games. In actuality, you were strengthening your cognitive skills, building memory, and brain plasticity. I hope I have changed your perception on playing video games and that you can now see them as a useful tool in helping our brains to grow.